and you'll get sick.
Nothing could possibly ruin this day.
Shout out to my boy Kazorvia for that video right there. Link will be in the description to his channel, and it's always in the channels tab if you guys are interested. But yeah, today I'm back with more Power Ranger news, and almost forgot, I literally just played that video for Kappa. Yeah, this video is intended for older audiences, 13 or above. You know, I gotta throw that out there now. I really need to make a pre-recorded video so I don't have to say it every time. That will be coming soon. And once again, quick disclaimer, I'm still working on the background for returning subscribers. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff going around. I still need to get that webcam, and once I do, things will be different, and I need to get that green screen back up the way it was before. Over the past month has been really crazy for the channel. Like I said, a lot of things are changing, and I haven't posted that often, so that means that I missed a lot of Power Rangers news while I was gone. So about a week ago, we got the confirmation that there was another Power Rangers movie in the works. And I obviously didn't cover it immediately when it was happening, so I'm kind of late to the party, but hopefully you all still enjoy my opinion on this, and I'm going to speculate a little bit about the movie, what I would like to see in it. Now, while the movie was announced, the fact that we're going to eventually get a Power Rangers movie, that Hasbro's working on it, the plot can change, the director can change, and a whole lot of stuff can change up until then. We just know that a Power Rangers movie is happening. I just wanted to make that specifically clear. So with that being said, everybody, let's go ahead and get into it. I think it was pretty obvious that we were going to get some news on a Power Ranger movie relatively soon. Hasbro stated it multiple times that they are interested in full feature films and not just the TV show. However, the big question that we've always had and always wondered was, is this going to be a sequel to the 2017 Power Ranger movie, or are they just going to full-on reboot the series? And it looks like they are going the route of a reboot, which is disappointing because I really did enjoy the 2017 movie, and I feel like a lot of people did as well. It just did not do good financially whatsoever. Plus, it's been shown now that Hasbro wanted to cut ties with Lionsgate when it comes to making a Power Rangers movie and went with Paramount instead, so I'm assuming it saved them a lot of time trying to get the right to take that franchise from Lionsgate. I'm talking about the current 2017 movie and transfer it over to Paramount and all sorts of other legal issues. If they just wiped the slate clean and did a reboot, it'd be a lot easier, and that's what they went with, and Paramount is making it as well. Hasbro does have a director in mind for the movie, and the first time I heard this, I was actually kind of surprised considering what he's worked on in the past, but of course, you know, people can do multiple different genres. But Jonathan Entwistle, I think that's how you pronounce it, at this point in time, you know, things can change, is going to direct the movie, and he's worked on series such as The End of the Effing World. I'll let you fill in the blank there. Yeah, you know, Kappa's gonna make me a little bit more mature, but not that much more mature. But yeah, he wants to work on Power Rangers now, and I'm all for it because I did really enjoy his work on The End of the World. I really like that series. I've watched the entirety of Season 1 back when it first came out, and I'm halfway through Season 2. I kind of stopped. I need to continue watching that. But bottom line, I think he's done some great work, and the fact that he's coming on to a Power Rangers movie, I think is great news. Power Rangers is probably going to be a lot different from what he worked on with his previous show, which also was a Netflix original. I forgot to mention that, so if you guys are interested, it is on Netflix. But Power Rangers and that show are nothing alike, and, you know, it's fine. He can work on multiple different genres. Maybe he is very good at it. I'm just saying they didn't have somebody come in who just does the same genre, the same type of movie over and over again. It looks like they're going for something different. Like, I guess Michael Bay does a lot of action movies, and if you want to do a really cool action movie, maybe you bring him onto the project. This is what he specializes in. What I'm saying is that this guy, he made a show that was very dark and very different from Power Rangers. If you guys seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. And now he's coming over to something different. So maybe it will lead to a very interesting and different and hopefully good movie, but you're not dealing with a professional and the type of genre that he's going into. Although I still think he's going to do a great job because I do really enjoy his work on the other show, but I feel like I rambled on that section long enough. Let's get into the plot of the movie, or its supposed plot, because yeah, that can change as well, but it looks like it's going to be a time travel story this time around, which is interesting. I'm not a huge fan on it. It looks like the Rangers are going to go back in time to the 1990s and have to find a way back. That's the general plot of the movie. I think it's cool because, you know, if you're going back to the 1990s, you're going back to the time where Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was the thing. That's when the show took place. So you can do some really cool stuff there. But at the same time, it's like, this isn't anything from the show. You're not taking a plot line from the show and adapting it. That's what most of the movies have been about. This is something brand new. And if you're going back in time, How are you gonna get there? What's this all about? And while the time travel idea and concept is kind of cool and I think has a lot of potential, my main worry is that this is all gonna be a big nostalgia craze because they are going back to the 1990s. I want you to keep that in mind. But it also confuses me because if you are taking a new cast and a new story and you're going back to the 1990s, what is there in terms of nostalgia that you could use? You know what I mean? So this leads me to believe, and I'm probably definitely wrong about this because this seems very far-fetched. I don't know if everybody would be down for it. But hear me out. What if this actually isn't a reboot? And I'm not talking about continuing the 2017 movie. I'm talking about continuing the show. You know, at this point, the actors are much older. It's been almost 30 years afterwards, or 25-ish years afterwards. And if you're dealing with time travel and going back to the 1990s, you could do something really cool. You could take a lot of the actors from MMPR, bring them into the modern day where there's still Power Rangers because, you know, with Power Ranger logic, they still all have their powers. You know, Jason is coming back in the new Beast Morphers team up. You could take the core team, or however many Rangers you want, you can have them still be Power Rangers, and then them go back in time to when they were first Power Rangers in the 1990s. And look, I feel like you don't need everybody to come back to still do this. You could still have, you know, a bunch of original Rangers and maybe even bring in a couple of new faces because powers do transfer, I don't know. But at this point in time, you have Austin St. John and Jason David Frank who are still interested in being in the TV series. You know, you have Jason David Frank who comes back all the time for all sorts of stuff, different fan projects, the actual show, all of this stuff, and you have Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger, who's coming back in Beast Morphers in 2020, so he's obviously still interested in the show. You have those two main core characters that you would probably definitely need for the movie. And you have all these different actors from the original show who are still, you know, very active in the fan base. They go to all these different conventions and everything, and yeah, maybe they don't want to be on the show. But if Hasbro comes to them with like a huge package deal for like a full blockbuster movie, that'd be a little hard to turn up, or turn away, if you know what I mean. I understand if a lot of the actors don't want to come back to a very cheap kids show, you know, on Nickelodeon, but if you come to them with like a full-on movie, I feel like it wouldn't be insanely hard to get a lot of the older actors on board to come back for a new movie. And you already have your Red and Green Rangers still interested in being on the cheap TV show on Nickelodeon. So I'm pretty sure they'd be okay, or definitely be down with coming back for an entire movie. Of course, this is just wishful thinking. We probably have a 1% chance of that happening, and it's still being labeled as a reboot right now. But, you know, Hasbro themselves hasn't said much about the project. I don't know. I feel like this could happen just because of the plot. You know what I mean? If they're going back to the 1990s, you could do so much if you had the original cast there. If you had the original cast that are much older, they're going back to the 90s when they were first Power Rangers, there is unlimited potential and fan service that you could do there. You would definitely have a lot of people coming to the theater just because they watched the show when they were kids. And this is also my thinking as well, is if you're Hasbro and you're looking at the 2017 movie and you're like, okay, you know, a darker reboot of Power Rangers with a brand new cast, it bombed. It did not do well. What if we took the original cast from the TV show universe and then we brought them to the big screen? It worked before, it could probably work again. I mean, general audiences and fans have already shown that they will not go and see a darker reboot with a brand new cast of Power Rangers. A lot of people just aren't interested. Well, I personally love that movie and the fan base seemed to really like it as well. Not enough people went. I feel like if you're Hasbro and you're thinking, how can we make a Power Rangers movie and how can we make people go see it, bringing back the original cast would be your best bet. And I do know that a lot of original fans didn't go and see the new movie because they just weren't interested. They wanted the original cast to come back. They wanted to look at Power Rangers and just have it be this one big cohesive thing, and they only wanted one MMPR team. And, you know, some of the fan base, you know, did express that, while some loved the movie who actually did go to see it. Some just straight up didn't see it because they weren't interested. They wanted the original cast. They wanted the original universe. You have a company who is desperately wanting to make a Power Rangers feature film. You have a movie that took a brand new cast and brand new idea that bombed. And you have a cast of characters, or just a cast in general, who is still very involved in the fan base. That is the perfect recipe to bring them all back for a new movie. Okay, so I started off this video with this idea, and I thought it was crazy and it was never going to happen, but I thought I'd bring it up for like a minute or two anyways. Now I'm like sitting here and I'm actually thinking like this is definitely a possibility. But I'm going to cut myself off right there because I feel like if I keep on going, I'm just going to get my hopes up way too high. I'm not the biggest fan of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I think a concept like this would be insane. I'd go crazy if anything like this was announced. And that's the thing, everybody else would too, and it would be a great idea if Hasbro were to do that. Then you can, grow the movie franchise, and if you want later on, you can do new casts or, do transfer powers or stuff like that. What if at the end of this movie, they transfer their powers to someone else? I don't know. I'll be back to talk about that at a later date. The concrete facts that I know right now, or that we know, is that it's going to be a time travel movie. They're going back to the 1990s. It's going to be a reboot, or they're doing something different from the 2017 movie, and we know the supposed director. That's all we know. That's all I really had to say in this video, but I went a little crazy anyways. I want you guys to tell me in the comments below, do you think this could happen? Do you think they could bring back the original cast, or do you think they're just completely rebooting it? They're doing something similar to the 2017 movie, but a little bit different. What do you think is going on? Just let me know in the comments below. I'm interested to talk to you guys about this because, oh man, it's just got my head turning, and I'm just coming up with all sorts of different possibilities right now. Be on the lookout for more videos on this subject because I really want to delve deep into what they could do if they did bring the cast back, but this video is getting very long, and really all I needed to do in this video, my main point was to just give you the facts, and I did a lot of speculation. So I'll do a full-on speculation video here soon and tell you guys exactly what I want to see, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Like I said, let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.